Okay, so we have the Community Crunch 381 Sunsets on Ark Survival Ascended, New Horizons on ASA, and the FAQ, and the new Shastasaurus. As we stand on the horizon between the ending of an era and the dawn of the next, we'll take a moment to reflect on the extraordinary journey we've shared. Some might consider it bittersweet. We feel otherwise. Unofficial Ark Survival Evolved is in great hands, yours. See, it's dead already. MTS just closed their servers. But as Chapter 1 concludes, another unfolds. So we've got the new whale that I think is going to have a breathable saddle on it, which is pretty damn cool. But we really want to see this Q&A. This is what everyone's talking about. So, there's some big changes coming. Ark Survival Ascended is a next generation remake of our beloved Ark Survival Evolved. When's it launching? Just around the corner. And why are they doing it? There are various reasons. One is to refine the development team's skills on Unreal Engine 5, how far it can be pushed for next generation titles like Ark 2. Another factor is for business reasons. Developing a next generation sequel while no longer releasing paid expansion packs has proven difficult for our studio's long-term survival. So we need some money for Ark 2 development. Whereas Ark 2 is being designed as a Souls-like adventure, we want to provide the community with evergreen classic Ark experience. So that's what I thought. Ark 2, they're still going ahead with a completely different gameplay loop and mechanics. So they want to give us the old school feel for Ark. So Ark 1.5 basically. One that can continue to grow over time on a cleaned up code base from a better standing foundation. Ark's code base has been rewritten and its artwork recreated by hand to take full advantage of Unreal Engine 5, including its Lumen and Nanite systems. So it's going to look much better. Advanced graphics such as dynamic water, complete interactive physical foliage, and more systems to create a beautiful immersive next-gen experience. And cross-platform modding. They're still working with Overwolf to provide an industry-first cross-platform experience, full cross-platform multiplayer, and quality of life improvements. So they're just adding a lot and refining a lot for Ark Survival Ascended. Over time we'll be releasing 11 brand new creatures, more than any previous DLC expansions, new minimap system, that'll be cool. New structures, display cases, okay, that's interesting, something we didn't really know about, and new gameplay items. Dynamic navigation mesh and character pathfinding overhaul, so the creatures will pathfind much better. UI revamp, photo mode, camera systems for players and diners with the option to revert to the old systems, and new player character assets with revamped and improvised customization. So lots of changes, and that's the reason they had to do Ark Survival Ascended, mostly due to money and due to how different Ark 2 is going to be. Alright, so this is the big part I think here. Will there be a pre-order for Ark Survival Ascended? We are planning on making Ark Survival Ascended available for pre-order. You can purchase the game towards the end of October when we reveal the trailer and related media. So the end of October is when we're getting it. There's no plans to allow anyone early access. You'll all have access at the same time. They'll have a 3-phase system for crossplay. This is because it allows us to iterate more rapidly, allowing us to deliver a better experience. So it won't be straight away, I don't think. So phase 1, launch time frame October. Crossplay will be enabled for Xbox Series X, Windows PC, and PlayStation 5. It will not work for Steam PC at launch. So that's interesting. Steam PC is not getting crossplay. You have to play on Windows, PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series, which is the Windows Store Ark, which is inherently bad for cheating, so I won't be touching that. So that's interesting. No Steam crossplay. Why, frankly, when we launch the game, we'll have to patch it a lot, and we prefer to patch Steam platform very quickly to resolve these issues. So they can patch Steam much faster than these other consoles and other systems. And I think a lot of people are mad about this because they thought crossplay was going to be with Steam from the get-go on official servers. Once the game has passed the launch hurdles and has entered a more stable state, certifying builds, it'll be much quicker, and so at that point we'll be looking into enabling full crossplay. We'll split official servers between respective crossplay platforms, and we also intend to host some servers that are crossplay only between Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5. So it sounds like they want to keep the consoles together. Full crossplay time will be December by the sounds of it. What changes have been made to the servers? So we've made a few changes to the servers. First of all, we've increased the stasis replication range for structures and dinos by about 70%. This means you'll be able to see them further away before they de-render. Additionally, we'll be making use of instance rendering in the tile sets, meaning bases are going to run a lot better. At the moment, we're keeping the servers capped at 70 players. With a lot of other changes we've made, we've had to make some trade-offs. And right now, the tech or hardware isn't quite there yet to increase the slot cap much higher. Now, this is the most important one. What content changes have been made for day one? Caves, rafts, crypods, tech, and giant squirrels. This is a hot topic and we wanted to clarify our intentions, but we wouldn't be surprised if some things have slipped through the cracks. Generally, we intend to release content based on the map it launched with. It doesn't matter when it launched. For example, the rafts will be available on day one and the Rhino Gnathia on the island. However, that's interesting. Tech, creature variants, and cryopods will not be available. That's such good news in my opinion. I think it's going to be great because we're going to get a full, fresh, vanilla Ark experience. It's not going to be Ark, but with all the added things. It's going to be old school. It's going to be a much more hardcore experience, and I, for one, am really keen and excited for that. I'm really pumped for it. I know crypods are something we really rely on now, but you've got to remember you can still have your community servers where no doubt you'll be able to put crypods in, I would presume. We have done a pass on caves with some balance adjustments to choke points and improve the cave's internal appearance, and we were hesitant to make dramatic changes to cave balances. While the meta in Ark Survival Ascended had flaws, we didn't feel a complete overhaul was wise. Between these changes and other adjustments throughout the game, we expect to see some shifts in the meta players create. We plan to monitor the impact of these moving parts. Honestly, there are a fair number of changes. They're overhauling building, disabled leveling of movement speed on creatures and players. This is amazing. So this is the best news. Like, it's unreal. Like, this is the thing I am most excited for because I've always hated movement speed adjusting in Ark. So this is so great because it means it's going to be everyone on an even playing field. You're not going to have people with 200% movement speed zipping around the map. PvP is going to be completely different, way more varied and intricate. I think it's going to make it way more interesting in my opinion. So this is great news. There's small dino quality of life changes, breeding changes, and then there's a character creation overhaul. So that characters look less survival jank, and we successfully did that, but then we decided to say screw it and allow you to mess with all the bones and scalers anyway. So yeah, you can make something that feels nice and polished, or you can make a character of questionable proportions that looks like it belongs to Ark Survival Evolved. So you can still make the derpy characters, or you can make one that looks decent, I think. Oh, and we've got new Gareth Cocker music, which is amazing. You'll be able to see gameplay and trailers before you purchase the game in October. So we're getting it late October, that's when we'll see this. What about cheaters? This is a big one. We will still be working with anti-cheat for Ark Survival Ascended. We won't be sharing any more information about anti-cheat, as it doesn't benefit anyone to do so. The anti-cheat will work on cross-platform, and we intend to create more systems to use our live operations to battle against cheaters, which again we won't talk about much. But we'll be doing another bounty program with Ark Survival Ascended, so you can look forward to making money while hackers cry. We're going back to the name Survival of the Fittest. It felt easier than TSOTF, but more importantly, Survival of the Fittest will not be available at launch. We intend to do it, but we're putting some time, resource, and blood, sweat, and tears into it. So, all in all, this is amazing news. Movement speed change and cryopod change. This is the best thing ever. I'm so pumped. What do you guys think about it? I know it's going to make so many people mad, but if you actually sit back and look at it from a perspective of being objective and not subjective, you will see that movement speed, not having the ability to make yourself 200% movement speed, is going to be making the game more of a threat. It makes the creatures more of a threat, it makes the players more of a threat, and it just makes everything more interesting when it's slowed down, in my opinion. What do you guys think? I know a lot of people are going to be mad, but I, for one, am here and all for it. I'll see you guys there when it releases.